Hey, what is up guys? In today's video we're going to be taking a look at the JLB Racing Cheetah upgraded version. Now there's two versions of this. There's the 80 amp version, 120 amp version, and this is currently the 120 amp ESC version here. And just right out of the box, my first impressions when I used it, I'll have the video review of me driving this thing, is this thing is out of this world. It's basically like flying a quadcopter on the ground. To tame its power, it just needs a lot of practice. Actually, you can barely go full throttle without this thing flipping over. It's really crazy. So let's talk about some of the things that it comes with. So they do provide you with a 4000 milliamp 3S Lipo, which is really good. That's a lot of amperage. And yeah, so far it's doing very well. I haven't had it heat up or puff up, so it's just handled pretty well here. And it seems like it has some kind of very hard shell around it to protect it from impacts so it doesn't catch fire. So that's really nice and really thoughtful that it comes with such a thing here. So let's put this to the side. They do provide you the 2 and the 3S balance charger. This charger takes an absolute long time to charge, but that's, you know, as long as it gets the job done, as long as they provide it with it, that's totally fine. But if you did have a professional grade charger, I'd highly recommend you grab yourself one. And the transmitter itself here, I believe it's a 3-channel transmitter currently, but I could be wrong here, but so far it seems like it's a 2-channel transmitter. The response time, I feel a little bit of latency, but I guess maybe because I'm so used to quadcopters, the latency is okay, but I do feel somewhat of a latency, especially on the servo part. But that's not really a deal breaker. That's just me being very fussy. So in here, I didn't have to do anything. So this is the ready run package. All I did was turn this on, turn the car on. I just started driving. But I had to do one little thing because the steering was inverted. So what I had to do is reverse the channel on channel 1. I just had to go to channel 1 and just switch that over, and then it reversed it. So now everything is working perfect here. And if you wanted to reverse the throttle to where your throttle would go forward like this, I don't know why you would do that, but you go ahead and reverse channel 2 right here. There's a little switch that says channel 2, and then you just flip it over, and that's how you'd reverse the throttle. So let's put the transmitter to the side here. Now it's running on 2.4 gigahertz. It's pretty obvious. It's stating that all over the thing. Let's take a look at the car here. Now the car is really massive, like really massive. It's 1/10 scale, and this thing is 1/2 meter in length, which is just absolutely crazy. I didn't expect this when I received it, to be honest. I had no idea what to expect. I thought it would be big, but not this big. It's taking up my whole table here, and the wheels are pretty massive as well. I mean, that's just, it's insane here. And if you take a look here, it has a limited slip differential, which is really nice. So it allows, you know, the front wheels and the back wheels to slip somewhat, so because it's a 4-wheel drive, so it'll allow the front wheel to move a little bit more than the back wheel instead of being just a hardcore solid 4-wheel drive. As they're stating, it is a limited slip differential, and we'll get to see that in the field as well. So let's pop this guy open. Now, first thing, I'm not really a big fan of the design of the plastic here, but I mean, it's just, you know, it's just this little flimsy plasticky thingy that all RC cars are coming with. Now let's take a look at the internals here. Now this is where it gets kind of interesting. All right, so it's using a metal chassis here, and it has, as you can tell, some very good springs. Now these springs are oil filled springs, and I'm guessing that's really good because oil is a liquid, and a liquid doesn't compress just a limited amount, and that's it. And it's really satisfying. So when I first received this thing, I ran into a pole, a metal pole, full throttle, and I was expecting that, yeah, that's it, I'm about to break something, that's for sure. And then when I drove it back to me, actually I didn't find anything wrong with it. It was just absolutely perfect here. And what I found out is when I got it back, and as you can tell here, this is a little plastic thing that has some flex to it, but it's still pretty rigid, thus allowing your car here, your RC car, to take a lot of impacts, knowing that this thing is going to take a lot of impacts at very high speeds. And it's rated for 80 kilometers per hour on the current 3S Lipo that they provide you with. So if you set up 4S in there, 100 kilometers per hour without a doubt. So we're rocking 2500 kV motors, which is just really crazy here. So if you wanted to set up your battery in here, and the battery setup is really nice, and it's really firm, and I really did like that. They do have some padding right here on the sides, so if you do get in a head-on collision, it doesn't, you know, hit anything hard, thus possibly puncturing your battery and ruining it. Let's actually take a closer look here. As you can tell here, we do have these little foam pads they have set up right there. So once you set that up in there, it's nice and firm. It's not going anywhere. It has play on the right and left, but that's not going to be an issue because once we set this up, it should just keep it in place here. That'll fix that right up. So the installation is absolutely simple, which is also something I really did love and like here. You can keep the battery inside, and all you got to do is just connect your battery and you're good to go, really. So connect the battery and actually press the switching on button. Now the on button is going to be right there. If you take a look at this now, if we turn this on, the ESC turned on, the fan of the ESC turned on, the 2-channel transmitter is also on. It's actually a 3-channel transmitter and a receiver, as you can tell right there. There's a 2500 kV motor, and we do have this switch right here, and now we can just turn it off. And it also comes with LEDs, which are really bright in the daylight, which I really did like. You have 2 in the front, and you have 2 in the back. The 2 in the back are a little bit less powerful as the ones in the front, but it's a really nice addition to have here. And to be honest, I like driving this without the top, but usually I set up the top to avoid any damage. Now let's talk about the components inside here. So the components here, as you can tell, I don't know if you'll be able to read that. So this is the ESC. There's the fan of the ESC. The ESC is under here. So it's stating that it's a waterproof ESC. So I don't think it's waterproof. I might say a little water resistant, but I could be totally wrong here. So they're saying it's a waterproof ESC, also water resistant or waterproof motor. And the 3-channel receiver here, I don't think it's going to be waterproof, but they're also stating that the servo right here is as well waterproof. So basically the internal components are somewhat water resistant, which is really good to see. I don't know how water resistant, but I guess if you go through a couple puddles, you probably should be fine, but don't take my word for that, because I've never done that and I've never tested that. All right, so let's take a look at some other things as well. Now I do like the wheels here. The wheels feel really nice. It had a lot of grip up on the grass, as well as the gravel, and as well as the pavement, which I really did like and really did enjoy. I actually prefer to ride this on pavement more than the grass. Now, if you can tell here, we also have a wheelie bar back here, and this wheelie bar is to prevent it from flipping over, because it has so much power and so much torque that without this, I think it'll be impossible to punch out 50% throttle without it flipping over. So this will allow you to add a little more extra throttle in the beginning, and also sometimes you'll have it, while you're going 50% throttle, you just punch it out, it'll still wheelie up, and this sometimes does help it depending on the ground conditions, which I've noticed as well. And I think that's gonna conclude it for this video, guys. If you're thinking of an RC car and you wanted the biggest, baddest beast you've ever seen, especially if you're starting out, I think this is an absolute great place to start, to be honest. I'm having so much fun with this. I'm flying this a little bit more than my quads right now, because I'm just impressed. I can't even explain it, and we'll see that in the upcoming review videos when I go ahead and start driving this thing in the field along with my quadcopters. However, this thing is also going to be going for a lot of upgrades and mods later on, such as adding a camera, adding a LiDAR, because this thing has so much torque, so much power. I could put whatever the hell I want on top of this, and it'll just go like a beast. So I'm really in love with this. I'm really glad I picked one of these up, and I just can't stress it enough how it's just an amazing thing to ride. I just never thought riding an RC car would be this much fun, to be honest, ever. And well, I think that's going to conclude it for this video, guys. If you're thinking of one, go grab one. You have nothing to lose. It's more of a beast than you see on YouTube and online, I can tell you that right now. And I'm just having the greatest time with this thing. And well, that's it, guys. Please check the links down below. I have it linked down below. There's 2 versions, so you don't mistake. There's a ready to run version also, and a non-assembled version as well. So make sure you get the same one. This is the ready to run with the upgraded 120 amp ESCs. They still do sell the older version. So if you wanted one, you might as well hurry up and pick it up, because it's on sale, and when it goes off sale, it's going to jump back up $100 or so. So, well, that's it, guys. I really hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I will see you in the next one. Peace out, guys.